Endless online searches, trekking from dealer to dealer. But here it is, the Volvo XC90. A luxury SUV that emphasises convenience and comfort. A panoramic roof, advanced air purifier, a head-up display that changes to suit light conditions, an air suspension system that ensures a smooth ride by constantly adjusting the ride height and shock absorbers. Now at special run-out pricing from $99,990 plus on-roads. Visit Volvo Cars and discover why the Volvo XC90 is the vehicle for right now.
You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Moana Pasifika have claimed the biggest upset of the Super Rugby season so far.
Moana magnificence! A miracle in March for Tana Umaga's men. For the first time, they beat the Crusaders.
A famous 45-29 win over the Crusaders in Christchurch. Inspirational captain Adi Savia led the way, scoring the first two Moana tries as they claimed their second win of the campaign. It was also the second most points the Crusaders have ever conceded in Christchurch, surpassed only by the 49 the Blues put on them in Super Rugby's very first season back in 1996. Moana Pasifika coach Tana Umaga is with us. Tana, thanks for taking the time. In general terms, first of all, how special a win is this for you and for your team?
Oh, very special. I suppose anyone's a special win, but when you come down here and to Christchurch and you play against a team that's obviously formidable at home, and they're one of the form teams. It is very special to do that. So I'm very proud of the group, and also the ones that came down here, but also the ones at home. To help us prepare for what was our best performance of the year.
Was this the 80-minute performance you've been looking for?
For sure. We've been good in patches, as we've seen, and it was probably we don't want to get too far in front of ourselves here, Jason. But there's obviously still things to work on. But no, this is probably our best performance since I've been here, and we know we've got more in us, and we know we have to have more in us because we can't just rely on this one game. But we enjoyed our performance and our win last night, and now we're already, as you do in this competition, you can't keep thinking about what's in the past. You've got to move forward, and we need to do that now.
How hard, Tana, have you worked at blending the traditional style of Pasifika rugby, which we all love to watch, with a work rate and a structure that's needed to consistently win matches? Well, probably since we've got here, and I'm sure, look, and that's the thing. We know we can play the game. We know we're exciting to watch, and traditionally that's in us. But we also know with the coaching group and the playing group and the leadership that we have that we can't just rely on that to win games. And we want to be more than just a team that everyone loves watching and a highlight reel team. We want to be a team that is consistent and can put out performances that people are proud of, not losing sight of who we are and what we can do. And we know we've got that, but we want to show exactly what you talked about around our work rate and those effort areas, and also the detail around what good teams do to win games. And I think, you saw a bit of that last night, and it's great to hear people talk around our work rate, not just the flair that we naturally bring to games. And so in that way then, will last night become something of a blueprint for you? Will it be something you can reference with your team as you look for more performances like this?
Oh, exactly. It's we've had that blueprint for a while. It's just us putting that plan in place, adhering to the plan, trusting the plan, and for us, it's combining the emotion we have and all that energy that we want to do well, and understanding that we do this for a bigger purpose than just ourselves as a group. But we've got to channel that energy somewhere and channel
channel it in a way that, you know, we're all doing it for the same reason, and you know, as we see, we're singing off the same hymn sheet, because we know when we do that, when we channel that energy in the right places at the right times, and as a collective, then, you know, we can get more results like we did last night.
Early in the second half, you were 31-10 ahead, and then a couple of tries to the Crusaders got them within 9. What were the conversations you were having when they got back to within 9 points with still, about 25 minutes to go?
Oh, look, those are the big moments for us. That was a huge moment for us. And talking to Skip Ardy, you know, he said those are the moments that you know, the boys stood up. Again, it's around uniting us, around where we're going to go to next. And that's something that we've worked on, especially from the last game, is that coming together in those moments, you know, and understanding that we know what to do, you know, have faith, trust the plan, and, you know, just go back to doing what we were doing, and not lose faith in that. And I think that was probably a turning point for us, and a big part of our growth, you know, especially from last week, was, you know, swinging that momentum, because it turned against us when we had it all. And obviously we know what it feels like when we let that momentum keep going and giving that to the opposition teams. But again, you know, our leaders stepped up, the players understood, and we've been here before, but now we want to change this. And, you know, full credit to them, they did.
A lot of players caught the eye last night. Just want to ask you about Patrick Pellegrini. What have you seen in him? How proud have you been of his growth and his... he works, I'm sure, closely with Jackson Garden Bashop inside your playing group, but what have you made of Patrick Pellegrini's introduction to Super Rugby?
Oh, obviously he's really taken to it. He's done everything that was asked of him from the pre-season to now, and obviously, you know, we'd seen him play internationals, and, you know, from a guy that, you know, started in Sydney, took a punt and you know, signed with Division 3 in England, and ended up playing Division 2, and then wanting to come back and play. He always dreamed about playing Super Rugby, and from what we saw, and obviously him playing for Tonga, you know, he fitted into what we were about. And then he just worked. You know, when you talk about work, he worked hard in the off season and our pre-season block. You know, he had a few things to work on, and, you know, fortunately with the backs coaches we have, and Stephen Jones and Vavasa Mapusua, Zalala Mapusua, that, you know, they just keep building his game, and you can see, you know, when he has the flair, you know, I think that's the Tongan side that comes out on him. He loves that side of the game, and, you know, it was the other part in terms of managing a game, and he's learned a lot from Jackson as well, and now you're just seeing that. And again, you know, for someone who's come into Super Rugby for the first time, you know, he's taken some learnings, and he's worked hard on his craft, and now you know, for him it's the consistency. You know, obviously everyone's talking about him now, and that's a lot of our guys. You know, they're talking about them now. And now it's, you know, from talking, you know, taking on negative and being able to block that out. It's also us just learning from it. You know, it's the same with all the positivity for us. We can take confidence from it, but in the end, we still just got to go back and do the job that we need to perform for our team.
Just to finish, it almost seems silly to ask you to find more ways to describe Ardie Savea. I don't know that there are too many more words. A couple of tries to start you off last night. Can you articulate what he brings to your team in any new way, Tana?
I was asked the same question yesterday, and I just said, look, it's everything that everyone says, but I get to see it every day, just like our players. You know, even last night after the game, you know, it's keeping everyone's feet on the ground. You know, it's great. We enjoy it. You know, we love what we do, and obviously getting that result. But, you know, we want more. You know, we want that feeling. We've got to want more. We've got to know that this is not it. And that's the challenge. And, you know, just him being him, you know, I think just gives everyone confidence and lifts everyone to realise, actually, you know, geez, this is this guy, you know, who's sacrificed a bit to be here. And and they know they have to lift their levels, and then they realise when they lift those levels, they realise, oh, geez, I can play at this level. I can play at a level that, we can compete with the best. And so that just builds confidence, and that's the biggest thing that I think that he's brought to us. He's a confidence builder. He's a leader, both in his actions and his words. And I think he's someone that, we're very fortunate to have, and fortunate that, he aligned himself with us. So, I think probably the word is we're just grateful, for what he brings and what he does for us. And, I'm sure the players would say the same.
Congrats, Tana. Terrific performance, mate. Thanks for the chat this afternoon.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.
No, appreciate you. Thank you, Tana. Tana Umaga there, Moana Pasifika coach, off the back of a significant night in their history. 45-29 winners over the Crusaders in Christchurch last night.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.
For a few years in the 1970s, the Mr. Asia syndicate made millions.
Heroin creates its own market. It acts like a form of plague.
Until jealousy, betrayal and murder brought it all crashing down.
Then he just pulled out a gun, shot her in the back of the head, and then said to Wayne, "You're going to help me bury her."
This is Mr. Asia, a forgotten history. All episodes now available on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.